It is a brisk morning in late November, and there is some fun stuff on the agenda today. Alright, so today I'm meeting up with my fellow rally rider Justin. You may have seen him in a couple of my other videos. And we are going to do a little bit of bike swapping. As you may be aware if you've watched other videos, on this bike I have installed the Rally Raid Level 1 suspension upgrade, front and back. But I have not ever done anything with the exhaust or ECU. Justin, on the other hand, just did a complete exhaust swap out with the, I think he said Moto X. Full exhaust, not just the slip-on. And he got the 550 performance ECU tuning done. 91 octane version. And he also did, I believe he said the frog skin airbox mod to increase flow there. But he has not done anything with the suspension on his bike. So we're gonna hit some trails and swap around a little bit and see what we think of each other's mods. Obviously this is all gonna be purely seat of the pants anecdotal information, just how we feel about it. I've said in other videos that I've never really had any desire or felt like I've had a need to do anything with the exhaust or ECU. But I'm anxious to try it, and we'll see if I get converted today, or if he is converted to the Rally Raid suspension. I think he's already planning on eventually doing something with the suspension, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, there's another rally, looking all pretty. Good. How are you doing?
Barely got here.
Oh, good.
So yeah, Moto X full exhaust has the 550 performance 91 octane tune. So I used 91 octane gas, but such a small tank, not a big deal, right? Let's see, and then the it's got a airbox lid mod where you cut a hole in it and put frog skin over it. Okay. So it'll let air through, but not water, you know, unless it were under pressure.
Right.
So with those combined, and I'm still running an OEM filter, but yeah, nice mid-range. It's a lot louder, like a lot louder, but let me show you what it comes with in the exhaust.
So the airbox mod isn't, it's just like basically a hack somebody, I mean, it's not like something you buy specific.
So with the exhaust, if it's too loud, you can run this baffle that just lives right here. Okay. So you get that baffle option to quiet it down a bit. Or you have the spark arrestor, which just pops in right here. Yeah. And there's a little bolt, you bolt it down. So the spark arrestor comes from the factory with 8 very small holes, like super small holes. So I drilled them out to get a little more flow. Right. But both of these do make it a lot quieter. So if people are concerned with noise, they have the option to kind of mess with things and make it quieter. And you're still losing the catalytic converters, so I mean, yeah. So you're still going to have a lot more flow than stock. Yeah, a lot of flow, and it saves you. This weighs about half of what the stock one does, and then you don't have the heat issue on your leg. I was going to ask about that because, like, I wouldn't be able to tell today because it's 35 degrees. So the catalytic converter lives right here, on the stock one. So you'll probably notice in slow riding, you know, this will heat up in the summertime. Yep. But since that's gone, you don't have that issue at all. That is awesome. So it's nice. It's going to be too loud for a lot of people, you know, fully opened up. But with these, you can quiet them down. But but it runs good though. I'm curious. I've got earplugs in, so do I. It'll be interesting to see how loud it is for me personally. Well, you can just hear it. You want to hear it? Yeah.
definitely, it's got more punch to it though. It's got a cool sound.
Yeah, and under load, you know, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I imagine at that 5,000-6,000 RPMs, it's really loud.
Right. So what the tune does is, well, it does a few things you can read on their website, but the top speed is really unchanged. I'm still topping out around 80-ish, right? That really doesn't change. But from, say, 5,000 RPM to about 8,600, 9,000, right, you get a lot more mid-range. You can just feel that punch. So anyway, and it just sounds fun. So
yeah, well, sweet.
Let's go do, so you got that straight section down here, where it turns left, and it's straight for a couple miles. Let's get on there and do third gear. And we'll both just pull. Just go third gear, wide open throttle, and just see how the difference is in pulling.
All right, we're gonna just head out and do some speed comparisons in third gear. Hopefully the mic is working between, I'm going between the front mic and my lapel mic that's inside my helmet. All right, pulling up next to him, going in third gear here. All right, full throttle in third gear. So yeah, he pulled away from me pretty easily there in that mid-range. Second gear. You ready to go? Yeah, that third gear, he just really rips ahead of me. All right, fourth gear. So on that last one, I think I gunned it a little bit before him, and he still pulled away from me pretty easily. So yeah, in that mid-range. And then when we top out, we kind of top out at the same speed, but he definitely has more pull in that mid-range. And he's definitely louder. I can hear his exhaust all the way back here. Yeah. All right, back on stock suspension. We'll see how this feels. I do feel that punch in the mid-range. You know, it's funny. I mean, like, there's definitely a difference in the bounciness of stock. But it's, I mean, and maybe it's just because I rode it for a year, but it's not that bad. I mean, here we go. Here's, all right, that's pretty bouncy. love that grunt of the third gear. It just kind of grabbed and pulled me. You know, it's definitely louder, this bike, but you know, with headphones or with earplugs, it's not bad at all, and it's I do like that tug. Woo! Yeah, kicked me in the butt there. Yeah, so yeah, I mean the suspension upgrade is definitely makes a difference. But I'll tell you, this exhaust makes more of a difference than I was expecting.
Huge difference suspension wise.
Yeah, you know, it is, but you know, it's probably because I rode this bike for a year. It didn't feel unnatural to me, but I did notice, especially over the severe whoops, like this one's kicking me in the butt where I'm not used to that.
That feels like a real bike. Well, dude, I got going a little overconfident. Those whoops got a little big.
Yeah.
And on that, I'm sure it would have flipped me off.
Yeah.
That one just kind of took it.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what I'm finding with this one. It's like I get more confident, so I go faster, so I find myself like in the air more.
Oh, yeah.
But it's fun. This one had a lot more kick than I was expecting. Like in third gear, like it just like boom. Way more than I was expecting from an exhaust change.
Yeah. Yeah, that really feels so much more stable and planted.
Yeah, yeah.
This is
yeah, I like how this, you know, you hit a bump and then it's dealt with it immediately, you know.
Mm-hmm. So what'd you think on the acceleration out on the highway?
Well, you always, I mean, like that mid-range, you know, like on the last one we did, I think I hit it a little bit earlier than you. So I pulled out for a second and then you just, but you're right. Once we hit top speed, we kind of.
It's the same.
Yep.
It's exactly the same, yeah.
But that mid-range is fun.
Yeah,
like,
pretty cool.
I don't know. It's got me more tempted than I was before to do an exhaust.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what it feels like with those dampers, with the spark arrestor and the baffle, yeah.
It is a lot quieter.
But I mean, like power-wise, is it?
Yeah, you know, I'm not certain if that takes. It probably takes a little bit away.
Yeah.
But also the perception with more noise, you think you're getting more power.
Yeah.
Right? So who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, that was a pretty objective test just in that. I mean, you definitely have more power in that mid-range.
Yeah, no, it's definitely there. I mean, you can feel it. And when you're on trails and stuff, that's where you kind of live usually, is in that mid-range.
Well, that's what I was noticing, because, you know, I didn't know that I'd feel it that much on this little section.
And as far as weight-wise, I'll bet we're pretty close.
I've got about 12 pounds there.
Got the bars. I want to sit on it and compare heights too, because I've lowered mine a little bit.
Yeah.
And it sags down, but yours is basically stock height with better suspension, right? That
didn't look bad at all.
Much different than mine, honestly.
Yeah.
But that suspension is so better. Oh, it's a million times better. But just standing, granted I'm kind of in dirt, but that doesn't feel bad.
Yeah. All right, well, doing some side-by-side testing. Having that out of the way, we're just gonna do just some riding. So I may throw some of this footage in there, I may not do a ton, but once I'm on my way home, I will kind of summarize my thoughts on the whole thing. All right, heading home after a fun afternoon of riding. A couple things on the comparison, side-by-side comparison, that I didn't mention before. Justin and I are both still running on the stock tires. Similar wear on the tires. I've got about 3,600 miles on my bike, and he's got, I think, just coming up on 3,000, 2,800 or something like that. So, but the wear looked similar. We both have stock sprockets front and back. We both have stock cams. What else? Weight, I'm probably a little bit heavier, but not tons. I've got the crash bars, which add about 12 pounds, but probably not enough to make really any noticeable difference in our side-by-side, you know, evaluations. And in summary, I mean, I was happily surprised at the difference that I felt with the exhaust that he has, the exhaust mods. I didn't think I would feel it that much. And it's all in the mid-range, you know. You saw that in our little side-by-side racing tests. You know, he would speed up way fast, and then, you know, we'd top out at about the same speed. He just got there faster. And I could feel that when I was riding on the dirt, you know. I could just feel it grab in that middle rev range. It just had a lot more punch, more than I thought it would. So yeah, I mean, I've never really considered it as something that I cared about, but maybe I'll do it someday, because it's a fun little upgrade. I think we both agree that if all things are equal, if the cost was the same and you could do either or, the suspension would be the way to go, just because, you know, the handling trumps the little extra boost of power in the mid-range. But they aren't the same. They're not the same cost. I mean, he said he paid about $400 total for his exhaust upgrades, and I paid about 3 times that, a little bit more with shipping, for my suspension upgrades. So if you're happy with the suspension and you just want a little more punch in the mid-range, it's a fun upgrade to get, those exhaust mods. If you're going to do both, you know, you can start with the exhaust because it's cheaper and it's a lot of fun. And there are cheaper suspension mods you can do as well than what I did. You know, you don't have to go full rally raid front and back. You can do just the rear suspension. That's going to help a lot with the pogo sticking. You can get a different brand. I think you could probably spend $300 or $400 on a pretty decent rear shock that would make things a lot nicer for you. You don't have to spend as much money as I did. So anyway, all in all, fun comparison, and it did, you know, it made me more amenable to perhaps a future exhaust mod. I don't like the extra sound, so I definitely have the baffle in there that Justin talked about, and the spark arrestor, and that may affect the performance a little bit, but I don't think it would take it down too much, because really you're still way more open than you are with the stock. Anyway, that was fun, and I hope this has been helpful to somebody. I appreciate you guys watching my videos. Subscribe if you feel like it, and ride safe.